another edition of Pro Wrestling News and Views. I'm Jumpin' Johnny Pithers, Macho Man Randy Bodell, and PG, Pat Gallagher, he's in the house.
One more time, boys. And John, we have a very special announcement.
Woo! We knew this day was going to come.
Yes, we did. You want to tell our fans about it?
Fans, this is going to be our final show.
That's it.
It's the end. Yep, after a little over 18 years, we just passed our 18-year mark. This is our final show, so I'm glad you're tuning in, and we thank you for being there for us through all 18 years.
Very special day. It's going to be a 1-hour show today with lots of clips and lots of photographs, and of course the news coming up for the month. So
It's going to be great. Yeah. We're going to go out with a bang.
We sure are.
Yep, we're going to go out with a bang.
It's been a lot of fun. We've met a lot of good people and a lot of great fans.
Oh, it's been a great ride.
Sure has.
Everywhere we go, people recognize us from this show, and
Yeah.
we appreciate that. You guys always come up to
Sure
us,
do.
and whether it's in town, out of state,
Super Bowls.
Super Bowl, airplane,
At work, day job,
Yeah.
through Facebook.
man, they know it. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
We've had a great ride, though, guys.
We have. Been a lot of fun, that's for
Great
sure.
ride. Great
Everything
ride.
comes to an end, though, and this
Yeah.
one, this is going to wind it up with a 1-hour WrestleMania special.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Talking about WrestleMania,
Oh.
that's why we're here. The big 1-hour yearly special. Super Bowl wrestling is this weekend.
Yeah.
This is a big one, too.
Ooh, it's getting better and better by the day. But it's this Sunday, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Vince is rolling the dice again outside.
Yeah.
I think he's crazy with these outside
Coast,
venues.
yeah.
But yeah, especially up north.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Someday he's going to get caught with that, but hopefully it won't be this year.
You know what I didn't know?
What's
and
that?
one of the other Super Bowl, the ring is heated.
Is
You read about that?
No.
Underneath.
The
somehow,
ring
I
is
guess.
heated. It's got 4 electric heaters underneath.
Really?
And they keep that ring, they try to keep the ring temperature 70 degrees.
That's great.
I looked at a video on the WWE website. You can look at this and see how they build
That's
it.
awesome.
And apparently, a few years back when they were outside,
Yeah,
they had the same thing set up.
really.
But didn't make much note about it. This time they made a big deal out of it and showed how they did it and how they assembled
That's
the thing.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because
very
2 years ago in Orlando, it was cold there. It was freezing that night. And thank goodness, that's probably whenever they did the heated thing.
Maybe.
Although
yeah.
they do sometimes do a little canopy thing in case of rain, I think, so the ring would be covered in most cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
some
I'm
extent,
guessing
right.
with all the lights, you're going to get some heat anyhow from the lights.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Besides the
Probably.
underneath heating.
Yeah.
True.
Thought that was very interesting, though.
Very.
That is.
I didn't know that
pretty
from
cool.
the last time they were outside. I had no idea.
Interesting.
Good
Very
stuff.
cool.
Anyway, lots of matches, John.
Lots of matches. We're going to start to go through them here. As of our taping, this is what we know about. It might be a couple changes by the time you see this, but as of right now, the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, he's taking on Seth Rollins. Hopefully Seth will get the strap here,
Yeah.
and let's hope Brock's out of the picture.
Yes.
I mean,
Except for might be special occasions. like
that'd
we
be
said,
okay.
yeah.
But when you're holding the title, you should be on Raw every week. You know, not like once a month leading up to this, or sometimes it was longer than that.
Sure was.
But I mean, that's getting old. You know.
I think so.
Yeah. They just started billing this as the main event, and I think this is great. It's the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey's the champion. She's in a 3-way taking on Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I think this is great. This is going to be the headliner. This is the match. Yeah. First time ever that women's match headlined WrestleMania.
Ronda's got a lot of heat. I mean, she's
Oh,
a
yeah.
heel now, and she's going out with a bang.
She's
just
playing
like
it
we're
up
ending our
good.
show.
Yeah.
It seems like she's going out on, taking some time off after this.
Yeah.
So-
Fans are despising her. She's playing her role
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
it's going to be a great match. And to add to it, Pete, you said today they just announced about the music.
Oh yeah, her entrance song "Bad Reputation" by Joan Jett. Well,
Oh,
Joan
she
Jett
is?
will be there live,
That's
playing
pretty
the song
cool.
live, which is really cool.
I
yeah.
like that.
I was always a Joan Jett.
Me
fan.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
She was one
yeah,
of my favorites.
Good rocker for sure.
for sure.
So that's a piece of WrestleMania music that I think I'll actually enjoy, guys.
For a change.
Yeah, for a change, right?
We have Triple H. He's taking on Batista in a no-holds-barred match. It'll be a good match. Triple H will carry him, even though Batista's been out of the ring for quite a while now. But they built this up real well with Batista picking on Ric Flair on his birthday
Right,
celebration and whatnot.
Well, I think they did it right this time around. Last time he was around a few years ago, they were trying to make him a babyface, and the fans
Exactly.
weren't into it. And I think the
No.
timing with Daniel Bryan on the Uprise at the time, they weren't having it. Well, now with him as a heel, as a bad guy, the fans are buying into it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
And I think it'll be a good match as long as they don't go too long.
Right.
If they stretch this out too long, it's going to get boring. I think people are going to lose the heat.
I agree with you, Pete.
Yeah.
Let the guys that have been in the ring daily go long.
Yeah,
You know.
let them shine.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another kind of cool match is Shane McMahon versus The Miz, the former tag champs, tag partners. Now they're at odds. It's going to be a great match.
This is great.
Is
Shane always puts it out
Pull
there.
something
man.
out.
You got
Yeah,
that right.
always.
Yep, it'll be good. We have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. AJ will bring a great match out of Randy. Randy
Yeah.
can be lazy at times, but I think this is going to be a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the grandest stage of them all again. The U.S. champion, Samoa Joe, he's taking on Rey Mysterio. Again, great match.
Love
It's going to be
Samoa
good.
Joe,
man.
Oh, it's going to be good.
He's one of the most believable guys out there.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a tough guy. He
That's
really
true.
looks like a tough guy.
I like that because it's taking you back. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
barrel chested. You know, not so ripped.
Not so
and-
pretty looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. We have the farewell match, Kurt Angle, and I hope they change
We'll
this.
see.
By the time you see this show, I'm hoping they change this match.
Yeah, we're
but
hoping it's Cena or somebody better than Baron Corbin.
yeah, Kurt Angle's taking on Corbin. They've done this already
Well, and I think
on TV.
they
even.
enjoy that Corbin's getting all the heat from it, and the fans are eating that up. But still,
Yeah.
it's not a match that you really want to see
It's
Kurt Angle
terrible.
finish with.
Particularly, no.
If they hadn't wrestled lately, maybe. But
Well, plus
it's
they've
been
been,
all
they've
over
been
TV.
building all his matches leading up to it. Like they know this is the retirement match, so between Raw and SmackDown, they've had him face Mysterio. They're having him face AJ Styles. Well, that would have happened already.
Yeah.
So they're giving them good matches on
That's
regular
true.
TV. So I don't know. I just would rather see somebody other than Baron
Me
Corbin.
too.
Well, I mean, my opinion may not be the popular one, but I sure would like to see Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker.
Yeah,
I would like that.
That would be a total surprise. Maybe bring it in at the last minute, and I think that would be great.
I would like
Really
to
do.
see that, Pete, or Cena even.
Cena would be
You know,
great.
Cena or
Yeah.
Taker. I think either one would be a great
Well,
opponent.
Cena and Angle would be a great match.
just
As
to
far
come
as
full
a
circle.
pure
right.
wrestling match,
Yeah.
that would
Well,
be
in
a great
full
show.
circle, they say that Cena that was his first match
Ever.
on SmackDown was against Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a great swerve then.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
a
would
couple
be.
days before WrestleMania, just change that one up.
Exactly.
That'd be great.
We have the cruiserweight champion, Buddy Murphy. He's taking on Tony Nese. These cruiserweights, they can go.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match. Right now, Asuka doesn't have an opponent. She's a SmackDown Women's Champ. As of our taping, she doesn't have an opponent, but you know she's going to be on the card defending her title.
Sure.
And no matter who it's against, it'll be a good match because Asuka puts on a great show. Bobby Lashley, he's the current IC champ. He's taking on Finn Balor. This will be a great match. They've been playing this up on TV all along, and the belt went back and forth between those two.
Yeah, Finn's getting some good stuff out of Bobby Lashley too.
That's true.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're right.
Have to agree with that.
Roman Reigns, he's taking on Drew McIntyre. They've been building this up on TV. McIntyre's been getting the best of them pretty much. So I'm anxious to see if Reigns will be put over or if he's going to do the job for McIntyre since McIntyre's on the upside. You know, so it's going to be an interesting match. I can't wait to see the finish of it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, some André the Giant Battle Royal.
Right.
What is there, about 20 guys in that, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the guys that don't have a main match, they'll be in the battle.
Well, we know
royal.
Braun Strowman and
Exactly.
one of the gimmicky parts, the two guys from Saturday Night Live,
Oh,
was the
yeah.
latest part. Michael Che and Colin Jost are going to be a part of that.
Part of that too.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, Cena's question mark. You think he's going to be involved. The Taker, you think he's going to be involved because his photos on all the trucks that are driving around the country
All
right
over
now.
the place, right?
Plus, we figure Daniel Bryan isn't in stone yet, but we're guessing it's either going to be Kofi Kingston or Kevin Owens, or maybe the three together, or
Yeah.
whatever route they go with that
For the SmackDown title.
for the SmackDown. title.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
The Usos, they're going to have a match.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, they're the champs. So
Even
they-
the Raw tag team, we haven't mentioned.
Yeah,
either.
we haven't mentioned them either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of matches here. Another ladies match. It's a four-way now. Beth Phoenix and Natty Neidhart.
Yes.
They're taking on the champs, Sasha Banks and Bailey, and the Iconics and Nia Jax and Tamina. So this was a three-way. Now it's a four-way. So it should be an interesting match.
Those four-ways are so loaded with action, it's hard
Oh,
to keep
my.
track of what's going on sometimes.
It's
But,
crazy.
a lot of fun.
And there's going to be, I'm told, like 17 matches
Yeah.
on this show. How long is this show going to
Yeah.
be? It's going to be a crazy
Well, it's
card.
going to have to be 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
If you consider the warm-up matches.
That's true.
Maybe
Besides
more.
Joan Jett, the musical act is.
Oh, yeah. Who is the music? Oh, Elias.
Elias.
Second year in a row.
Yeah, lucky us.
How could we forget that? Jeez. And then Alexa Bliss, she's still out with an injury. She can't work yet.
Yeah.
But she's going to be the host of WrestleMania on the network. So what a loaded card.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Super Bowl of wrestling.
This is a show you got to buy.
Got to buy. Dialed up on your Armstrong in Demand pay-per-view.
They
My
had
def
moved up
gonna
the
look
hours
great.
too, I think, as well. I think it's either a 5 or 6 o'clock start now.
Is it now?
Oh, it is that early, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were going to have to do that with this many matches.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
In fact, I think they're giving you the 6 o'clock hour. They're going to be on USA. They announced recently.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty neat.
Yeah, because these things normally run behind anyway. Once they get in a few hours, they're usually behind schedule.
That's true.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a long evening.
Yeah,
Order-
no
order
11
to-
o'clock curfew on this. I wouldn't.
Nah.
Get a
They're gonna
cushion
go, yeah.
to sit on.
Get a cushion and order some extra pizza.
Right.
That's for sure.
Get some
yeah.
sugar in you. Stay
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
right.
So we have some Hall of Fame inductees too.
Yeah.
Who we have this year, guys?
Longtime employee Sue Atchison is to receive the Ultimate Warrior Award at the 2019 Hall of Fame ceremony. She's had over 30 years with the WWE. She's been their main person behind the WWE's relationship with Make-A-Wish Foundation.
They say one of the most likable people in the company. She's
Boy.
been there that long. It's amazing.
And all the guys just love her.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
probably the ladies too, but I know the men have spoke highly of her through the years. You know?
And we say, as we say, you know, Ultimate Warrior, when they, you know, they dubbed it after him, and before he passed away, he always felt that somebody within the company, a small person, not small person, but you know, could be obscure, not known to the public, but somebody that works behind the scenes, and this like fits it like to a T.
Yeah.
Like he said, the guys that don't get any recognition, like the guys that set the ring up and stuff
Yeah,
like
right.
that,
Yeah.
and all this.
Well, maybe she was the person he was thinking about.
That's awesome.
Quite possible.
I think it's great.
I do too. Glad to see that, very
Yeah.
much so.
Me too.
Also, we have the team of Harlem Heat, which is Booker T and Stevie Ray, you know, actual brothers in real life, going
Yeah.
in as Hall of Fame. Second time for Booker T.
Yep.
Tori Wilson.
I'm not sure.
We're
about
all
that
rubbing
one.
our heads a little bit about that.
That's a
What,
head
where's that
scratcher,
coming
yeah.
from?
I don't know.
Wow.
A lot of women that could go in before her.
That's
but,
for sure.
Yeah.
The Honky Tonk Man, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history.
That's long overdue.
long
That's for
overdue.
sure.
Yeah, if
Seems
he
like they
wouldn't have-
buried the hatchet.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have burned so many bridges, I think he would have been in long before this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
We also have recently announced Bret the Man Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart,
Yeah.
the Hart Foundation,
Foundation.
the original.
Jimmy Hart's going in with them too. I
Is
think,
he?
Is
Okay.
I think.
Good.
And if that's the case, that'll be a second time for Bret and a second time for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then headlining the Hall of Fame is D-Generation X, with the original crew, with Chyna leading the way.
China
Yeah.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn.
and X-Pac.
X-Pac.
X-Pac,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And I think the whole reason behind that is to get China in there because there was a big push to put her in,
Mm.
and she deserves to be there. You know. Yeah.
Well, that would be a fun Hall of Fame ceremony to attend, that's for sure.
It sure would be. Very
Especially when
entertaining.
DX comes out. Oh, my goodness. Oh, funny stuff.
Very entertaining.
For sure.
Wow.
So, yeah, big weekend coming up. Lots of action going on. Lots of things to do. Lots of things to watch.
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
the
a
Saturday
great weekend.
before. That's Saturday
Yep.
night.
The
Yeah.
night before, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, night before. How about the death speech? We got one.
I've got one for you, and I know
Okay.
you guys got another one there.
Okay.
Just recently, about a couple weeks back now, King Kong Bundy passed away at 61 years old. A
not
young
very
man.
old.
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awfully young.
Wow.
Awfully young. There was no cause reported as of yet, but he made his debut back in 1981. Really hit the big time though in 1985 when he joined the World Wrestling Federation. Of course, you know Vince brings him up there and makes him a big guy. Part of the first ever WrestleMania match, with a very quick match with SD Jones. How many?
9 seconds.
9 seconds. Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah. And that was that the first match?
I think
That might
it
have been
was.
the
Might have been the
opener,
opener.
I think
Yeah,
it
okay.
was.
After he joined the Heenan family from Jimmy Hart's stable, he went on to have some really prolific matches with André the Giant, Big John Studd, and even Hogan himself went against King Kong Bundy.
Neat.
Hogan and Bundy main evented WrestleMania 2 in a steel cage, and he was also part of WrestleMania 3 where he was joined by the two midgets to take on Hillbilly Jim and two midgets. That was a funny match.
Dropped an elbow on Little Beaver.
Yes, he
Oh
did.
my
Yes,
gosh.
he did. That was funny. Very funny. Bundy left in 1988, but he returned again back in 1994 as part of the $1 Million Corporation. good time for him there for sure.
Neat.
And WrestleMania 11, he worked with the Undertaker, and was released later in the same year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what went on there. Made several appearances throughout the years on the independent scene, but had been away from wrestling for a number of years, probably close to a decade. He still participated in wrestling conventions every so often and autograph signings and things like that. But
Cool.
yes, Chris Pally's King Kong Bundy passed away at 61.
You know, when he did the independent scene around Western PA, he was here a lot. Great guy. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be intimidating and whatnot, a jerk, but he was just a fun-loving guy.
He was just the opposite. Very nice to everybody.
Yeah. Right.
Sad to see these guys go away. You know,
I
it's
know.
way too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
That's
for a
when
guy
guys
like
had
that.
character too. Like a lot of guys now. I mean, not that we're down on the business, but a lot of them look alike. A lot of them have a beard and long hair.
Yeah.
These guys had character. That they stood out. Like,
Yeah,
who else
true.
was like King Kong Bundy?
Yeah,
Nobody.
you couldn't miss
Nobody.
Bundy. Oh boy,
Nobody.
he was something else.
What Gorilla Monsoon called? Walking condominium.
Condominium.
That's right, he did,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah, that's
Walking
right. Oh, my
condominium.
goodness, I forgot
Yep.
about that.
One
And,
other death.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Dick Beyer, who you might not know him by his real name, but the Destroyer. He has to be like the biggest non-Mexican masked man in history.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so. He passed away on March 7th at the age of 88. This guy did it all. He even lived in Japan, he and his wife, for 5-6 years. He was like the #1 outsider over
Some
there.
epic feuds with Antonio Inoki.
Yeah.
We were
Baba.
fortunate enough to see him years ago. I think it was about at least a dozen years ago. And Antonio Inoki made the trip, and
Cauliflower Alley. Yeah, in Vegas.
in Vegas.
Yeah, they were together. Yeah. And the Destroyer was always a mainstay at Cauliflower Alley. I mean, he was there barking all the time. He had his mask on, you know.
Suit and tie with the mask.
Remember when he walked out onto the strip downtown?
Oh, and in the middle
With
of the
the
strip in
mask?
Vegas,
With the mask on.
yeah, with the
It's
mask
like,
on.
they're going to think he's going
I
to
think
rob something.
we do have one. Well, we don't have it here with us, but we have a shot of him without
Yeah,
the mask.
without
But he
the mask.
protected it very, very much so.
Wow.
Even years ago, I remember Larry the Axe Henning gave a speech one time, and he was pretty humorous throughout the whole speech. And he said, "And by the way, Dick Beyer, Destroyer, the gimmick's over.
Gimmick's
It's
over. Take the mask off."
80-some years old, he's still wearing the mask.
Still wearing the
But hey,
mask.
Rand, tell them about the time with the mask. I wanted a mask.
We
so
wanted him.
bad.
John wanted a mask so bad from him. You know, he would sell them to you.
I didn't want those
inexpensive.
junky ones.
Anybody can get those, and they were relatively inexpensive. And John went up to him one day. You know, we're sitting back, and Dick, I want to buy your mask. And he said, "Oh, okay, I have some." No, and John says, "I want to buy the mask off your face,
Off your
Oh,
face.
right off your
my
head."
This was right
Well,
after
I
the
don't
big
know.
banquet.
Yeah. He looked at his wife, the son.
Yeah.
And,
And they're like, no, I'm like, I
We
want to
don't
buy
know.
it.
We have plenty of masks back in the room. We can get it for you. No, the one off your face, and you name your price.
And I told
You
him,
did
I'd
name
say,
the price.
I said like $200, $300. He wouldn't take it.
Oh boy.
Well, I think the key was, I think the next step was we were going to take pictures of that.
Right.
As it was going down.
Yeah, that's
And that's
true.
a pretty rare thing. I don't think I'm sure that's not been done with him.
And most of his masks had the red outline around the eyes and the stripe here.
Mhm.
This one had
Had
blue.
the blue.
So it was kind of his like, this was the night of the banquet, so it was kind of like his formal mask. So that's why I think he didn't
Formal
want to
mask.
sell
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Do you think he got laid out in the casket with the mask on?
I would bet so.
I'll bet you.
I'll bet he
he
did.
did.
I bet you.
I'll bet you.
If he carried the gimmick that far into his life,
He
it's got to
lived
be.
it. Oh, great
You
guy.
figure
though.
probably more people have seen him with the mask than without the mask.
For sure.
You know,
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he was a super nice guy too.
Great guy.
that's
Great
some
guy.
funny stories. I like that stuff.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Hey, we have some photos here that we're going to be rolling,
Yeah.
right, Peach? This is our final show of our history, 18-year history. But we have a lot of photos that are going to start rolling here of a lot of our guests through the years.
Yes.
And it's really going to be great rolling this. And we're going to scroll some names on the screen here, too, so you can see.
Yeah, the names were a real problem. We sat and talked long and hard about all the
Oh.
people we talked to, and we tried to come up with everybody. I'm not sure that we got everyone,
I don't think we did.
but I think we
I don't
got
think
the
we
vast
missed many.
majority.
Yeah, there's a lot of independent men and women and a couple midgets that we forgot
Yeah.
after production of the list and stuff. But I
And
mean,
there's got
after
to be
18
some that we didn't
years,
think of, too.
yeah.
There has to be.
But if your name didn't make the list, we apologize. We didn't forget you. It's just we're getting older and
There you go.
But we're going to be rolling those pictures here for the next number of minutes while we continue to talk.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, interesting. Good stuff there.
Cool.
Getting back to the news, though, Harley Race has been diagnosed with lung cancer recently.
Oh, man.
And apparently the cancer is not terminal, and he is being treated by his doctors. Harley's 75 years old. Very active career that spanned 3 decades of wrestling in the USA, and I think was he in Japan at all? Did he go to
I
Japan?
think he
Sure
was.
he was,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he was.
He worked with the AWA, the NWA, of course the WWF, and then of course WCW. And he now runs World League Wrestling, which is an indie promotion in Missouri. He's also active in the Harley Race Wrestling Academy, and he's really always been considered one of the toughest guys in the history of the business.
Raw bone tough.
Tough guy, man.
You didn't
Yep.
cross this guy.
Right.
One of those hard-working, stiff guys, you
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
That worked,
And
yeah.
his body didn't look the part because he always had that belly, but he
Mhm.
was a tough guy.
He could go.
Yep, he could go.
He could do those hour matches if he had to.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And some other news from WWE, especially hard to believe, but I guess maybe not. Arn Anderson was recently fired from the WWE very quickly too, after he allowed Alicia Fox to wrestle at a non-televised live event while she was intoxicated.
Wow.
Anderson was running the show that night, and after she showed up under the influence, the decision was taken to still let her wrestle. And of course, Vince got word of it, and Harley was fired almost immediately.
How stupid.
I don't understand
I
that.
mean,
at
why would
all.
you put her in the ring? She could hurt someone while she's
Right.
Unless
intoxicated.
he thought it was going to fly under the radar or something with it not being
Yeah.
a televised show or
Could
just
be.
being a house show, but
Yeah.
still.
And he's been with
Yeah.
the company for what, 15, 17 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, he's going to that event in Las Vegas, that All Elite Double or Nothing Memorial Day weekend
Really?
event, the StarCast 2.
Yeah.
You give him an open mic, look out, you know,
Yeah.
because Arn was always known in.
Yep. Straight shooter.
Yeah, straight shooter.
Yeah.
So, but you know, he had nothing but praise for Vince and the company after he left. So I think he'll be brought back at
I
some
do, too.
point.
I do too. I don't think he's going to burn any bridges. I think he's a smarter man than that.
I
really
think
good.
so too.
Yep.
Okay, what about the tag team, Rand?
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson both turned down multi-million-dollar deals that would have had them stay with the WWE after their current deal expires in September. The former Bullet Club members came in with a lot of hype in 2016, but they failed to keep the momentum going. Both Gallows and Anderson have been taken off of live events. They're not involved in the Mania at all, I don't believe.
Yeah.
With the resurgence of the independent scene, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the arrival of All Elite coming up, wrestlers who are unhappy with WWE now are more comfortable not signing deals with them and, you know, asking for their release. It was unheard of a couple of years ago. Their departure means a great opportunity for the next company that lands their talent.
Yeah,
for sure.
they're a great tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I always said this: competition is good, and Vince needs competition. This AEW might be the best thing that happens because I think the fans will get a better product out of Vince's stuff. You know, it
Definitely.
won't be so stale.
And you know, from what I've read about AEW, there's a lot of deep pockets involved in that company. I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon.
No, that guy has deep pockets, like
Yeah.
you said, billions of dollars,
Right.
like Vince.
Like
you know.
billionaire Ted used to have. Right?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
only that, the independents aren't that bad a deal with the way the internet is and everything else. I mean, maybe 20 years ago, you didn't hear about
True.
it as much, or you didn't get people to follow it as much. Now, but there's so much buzz around whatever's going on. If
Sure.
something pops somewhere,
And it's immediate.
it's immediate,
Yeah.
and then don't think WWE doesn't hear about it. So that makes them maybe have a resurgence and wanting to have those guys back.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's good. That's a good thought. Yeah.
One of the independent wrestlers, soon not to be, Michael Paris. He's better known to the fans as DJ Z, and he had other wrestling names too, as DJ Zima, Shima Zion, and Zima Ion.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Say that 3
So
times.
he wrestled under all those different names. He just signed a deal with WWE. Great for him. Great guy.
We've
great
had him on.
worker. Had him on the show a couple times.
Yeah.
We had him on years ago, didn't we?
Years ago when he first started, then we had him on after that, like
Yeah.
when he was in TNA.
Right.
We had him
right.
back on,
Mhm.
many years later. But he can go. I mean, he's awesome.
He's a great
He
talent.
just made one of his last appearance on the indie scene here. It was in Elizabeth, PA for the IWC
Mm.
Oh yeah,
just a few weeks back.
he's worked for IWC for a long
Yeah.
time. That's great. Dana White in the news. He hopes to hear from Brock Lesnar this summer. I hope he does too.
So do I. Yep.
He ain't the only one that hopes.
Oh,
to.
brother. I mean, you can't have a belt on Brock and not have him on TV. Like I said earlier, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't
I
believe
never cared for it. And I just
Oh.
Brock's not one of my he's not one of my favorites. Never
Wow.
was, you know.
Well, Vince is riding him while he's hot. I mean, I guess give Vince that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And however he does when he goes back to UFC, if he goes there, however, I'm sure Vince will use him again down the line at
Sure
some
he will.
point.
Exactly.
You know he
Brock's
will.
not going to turn down the money. So.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Vince, he's sitting pretty, isn't he, guys?
This is something else. Vince is number 691 on Forbes' list of the world's billionaire.
My goodness.
Vince's net worth this year is $3.2 billion, which is up from 1.7 last year.
Wow.
Crazy.
Almost double.
Almost double. Yeah.
He had a good year.
The whole company had a good year from what I read.
Wow.
Everybody got big bonuses and everything else. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, his worth has steadily increased fairly credibly over the last 5 years. And for some reason last year the WWE stocks exploded. That's what pretty much bumped them up that far. Amazon's Jeff, is it Bezos?
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos, yeah. He's leading the pack with a net worth of $131 billion.
He
gosh.
needs that. He's got a lot of problems. He's got some current issues. Jeff Bezos.
He'll need all that money.
Yeah, right.
You think he will?
He's going through a
Gosh.
divorce. Yeah.
Well,
He,
among
that's
other
a lot of coin.
He'll
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're talking here, you're going to be seeing photos. This is our last show, by the way, in case you didn't hear earlier. Our 18-year career is coming to an end with this show. We're going off with a bang with a 1-hour finale. And you're seeing a lot of photos of the guys we had on the show through the years. Yeah, so that's what's going on in case you didn't hear earlier. The NXT brand champion, Tommaso Ciampa, he'll be undergoing neck surgery. It'll keep him out of action for a very long time. That's terrible timing because this guy just got brought up to the main roster.
Yeah. Yep.
And this guy can go. I mean, and this specific surgery removes a herniated disc or degenerative disc in the neck through an incision made in the throat area to reach in
Yikes.
to remove the disc.
Goodness.
Yeah. Kind of like what Angle had and Edge and those guys and Austin. But, gosh.
It's part of his style, though. I think he
Yeah.
works the rough, tough style like that. You know, reminds me of Dynamite Kid a little bit.
Hopefully he gets to come back because some of those guys didn't get to come
No.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Adam Rose, what's up with him, Rand?
Well, Raymond LePan, he's the artist formerly known as Adam Rose. He announced that he's retiring for good from professional wrestling once all the dates he's currently booked for are fulfilled. He thanked the fans who supported him, the promoters who booked him, and all the good brothers and sisters who worked with him. He worked for WWE between 2010 and 2016, first in Florida Championship Wrestling as Leo Kruger, and then in NXT. He was suspended twice for violations with the company's wellness program
Oh.
and challenged WWE's second suspension.
Oh boy. Really?
Yeah, in mid-2016, he was arrested for domestic violence and tampering with a witness, and at that point, WWE suspended him indefinitely. He was released a few weeks later. Yeah, just not a good guy.
No.
Boy, he made some bad decisions, didn't he?
Terrible.
Goodness.
Same route as Enzo went. Enzo
Yeah.
Amore, it sounds like. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
They
Same
got the
difference.
world in their hands, and, you know, they got this stage that they're on, and they blow it with things like this.
Just
And
screwed
you're
up.
gonna challenge a WWE
Yeah,
suspension.
right.
What court you gonna take that to?
Exactly.
Yeah, wrestler's court.
Jeez, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Impact Wrestling, they just announced today that it's re-entered into an agreement with Louisville-based Ohio Valley Wrestling. They're taking a card out of Vince's book here. They need a developmental and training facility, so they're going to have a territory for Impact Wrestling down there now. So I think it's awesome. And
Yeah.
Al Snow, he's in charge of the team down there. He's great. I mean,
Heck of a trainer.
yeah.
just
yeah.
an awesome guy. He has lived the business,
Yeah.
you know.
He sure has.
Yeah, and OVW, they've had a long history of developing great talent, and they're proud to be entrusted with the development of the lifeblood of, you know, Impact Wrestling and promotion of in-ring talent. And Al Snow's the head dog down there. You can't go wrong with him.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
guy
he's a
has
good
lived
guy.
his life in wrestling.
He's a great trainer.
Just awesome. We had him on the show for numerous episodes.
He has a line of apparel, actually. I know.
Does he
It's
really?
called Collar and Elbow Wrestling. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
I bought a
Interesting.
couple shirts from him.
Huh.
Wow.
Well, of course you did, Randy.
Yeah.
Triple H Peach.
Yeah, some other news. Triple H and his wife Stephanie made a massive donation to Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh recently for a one-of-a-kind, a brand new treatment center down there. Gave them a cool $1 million
Wow.
to build this treatment center and some additional building and structures, I guess. And this all kind of came out of the Connor's Cure Fund It was a number of years back, which fights pediatric cancer through supporting research. And so far, Connor's Cure has raised more than $3 million.
That's
At
awesome.
this point in time.
Well, as we've mentioned in the past, she's on a board of trustees with the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh as well. So I
Okay.
don't think it's just for them. At this point, I don't think it's just a PR thing. It's something that they
Yeah.
believe in, they support, and
Right.
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
I couldn't believe the other night they were on, all the Pittsburgh news channels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they doing?
What are they doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here they donated $1 million and had them in for the ribbon cutting and all that.
That
That's
was
awesome.
Yeah, that was when Raw was in town.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, a lot of the wrestlers went down to Children's Hospital and really made the kids' day.
Yeah, all the named
Really.
guys too. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were there. I think
Yeah.
Finn Balor
Awesome.
and Stephanie.
Mhm.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Hey, big announcement from WWE. They've been in Titan Towers for 34 years.
Mm.
They're moving to a new complex.
How about that?
Corporate headquarters will be in a new office complex now, and production studios and the corporate offices are going to be in the same building now, which is awesome. I mean, it makes sense.
Makes good sense.
Yeah, but they finally have outgrown the building, and they're doing something about it. So, going to be all in the same building rather than separate
Staying in the
ones
same
now.
town though.
Same
Yes.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess the new place is more downtown than Titan Towers is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, John, Titan Towers will be up for sale. Think you can use something like that?
Good gosh, I don't know. We'll look into it.
All right.
We're looking for work now, so.
Yeah, right. WWE is going to lease the new place for 16 and a half years initially,
Yeah.
and then it's renewed every 5 years after that. And it's going to sell the current building, so like you said,
Yeah.
Rand,
Yeah. That's
We
for
may
sure.
show up on screen there.
you
You
need
never
something
know.
to do.
You don't know. Never say never in this business.
Oh my gosh. Hey Pat, how
Yeah.
how can our fans find our podcast?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
We're still on YouTube with Michael Sorg's podcast we did a couple of months ago. If you just go to YouTube and search indiewrestling.us, then look for us, Pro Wrestling News and Views. We were on with Michael for almost an hour,
Yep.
and it's a good time.
That was a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike's a great guy. Mike makes it real easy.
He does.
So for a change, we were in the hot seat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tables
were
were turned.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you want to tell the fans about the clips we have
Well,
coming
yeah,
up?
we're going to move into some. We want to show you some clips from some of our older shows that we kind of were able to dredge out. Some of the stuff wasn't available anymore, unfortunately, for weird technical reasons. But let's see what we got going here. Coming up, we're going to show you a little bit of Gold Dust from 2013. We've got Sergeant Slaughter from back in 09, and
Oh, wow.
also Snuka from 2009. Those are some good interviews there.
Lovely brother.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
brother.
it.
Lovely brother.
Yes,
Yeah.
brother. Midnight Express from 2011, and we're going to wind up with the rowdy one, Roddy Piper, from just a couple of years ago.
Perfect.
So,
Son, did you always want to be a wrestler?
I think since I was about 8 years old is when I first realized that I wanted to. Watching the Von Erichs World Class Championship Wrestling, all that. Going on Florida Championship Wrestling.
Now, getting into wrestling, with you being Dusty Rhodes' son, did you find it was tougher, there was more pressure on you, or was it easier?
No, it was hard, and Dad broke me in right as far as making me pay my dues. Sent me to Florida. Mike Graham, Steve Kern trained me, and making $20 a night for the first couple of years. Working every night, home, barely paying gas money and beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's about all we had money for. So, but it was probably the funnest time in my career. Those first couple of years. It's a learning experience, and then Dad brought me up, kind of slowly built me into programs and stuff at WCW, NWA at that time.
Did you have to go through those legendarily rough Florida training camps with Graham and Matsuda and people like that?
I went through a few of them with Graham and Kern,
Okay.
but for me, it was easy.
The learning experience.
It was easy.
Well, you got noticed pretty quick. 'Cause I remember the magazines and things like that started mentioning you pretty quickly after you started appearing on their television.
It was nice to be Dusty's son in that aspect because that helped out a lot.
Yeah.
As far as people starting to realize, oh, Dusty's got a son. Cool. Let's check him out. It helped.
When you left Florida, did you get Georgia next?
Yep. Went to Georgia.
Is that where you found maybe was it tougher to be Dusty's son in Georgia?
Not at first. I was just doing what Dad told me, what the bosses told me to do, and the locker room accepted me just fine because I kept my mouth shut. learned respect. You know, Dad instilled all those values in me. You know, and I've seen it from other kids that had grown up, and you know, me and Barry would talk about it all the time. And just you be real respectful, and you keep your mouth shut, and you do what you're told, and that's exactly what I did. You know, if I'm working in there with George South, I'm not saying a word.
Right.
'Cause he's a veteran.
Right.
I'm the rookie. I'm the greenhorn. You know, and it's a learning experience that way. That's the only way you can learn. You can't fight, go up against the river to cause stuff, because then everybody starts hating you in the locker room. And that wasn't the case. It was good.
Well,
I paved my way.
If we could only play that snippet right there to a lot of these younger wrestlers,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, once they learn that, it would go a lot smoother for them.
Well,
Times have changed though, and the younger guys today, they don't understand. You know,
Yeah.
they just, I want to be a wrestler. You know, I'm going
Right.
to be a big WWE superstar. Shit is not that easy. Not nearly as easy as they think it is.
No.
it doesn't hurt either, too, though. That I mean, you were a talented worker when you got there. You might have been still newer than a lot of people, but it wasn't like you came in clueless.
Right. Well,
You know what I
you
mean?
my dad kayfabed me about the business up until I was about 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I picked him up from the airport in Dallas, and we were driving, and it takes about 45 minutes, and he just spilled it to me right there.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, some of the stuff I thought I knew,
Yeah.
you know, but he kind of was explaining the other things, you know, and he said, tomorrow you're going to go to Amarillo and you're going to ref your first match, and this is how you're going to break into the business. It did. Tommy Young sitting on the front row, and I'm reffing my first match with the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, and he told me to go buy some, you know, black pants and a ref shirt. So I went to Champ Sporting Goods or whatever they had back then. I bought black cotton pants, and the story is that I went down to count the 3 count for the win, and Tommy Young sitting in the front row to make sure I don't screw anything up, right?
And he was one of the greatest, too.
And I lifted both their hands, and everybody in the arena in Amarillo are laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I screw up, you know? And I'm looking down at Tommy, and Tommy's going, and he's pointing down to my crotch, and I'm like, and I look down, and it's from the belt, from where it snaps, all the way back around, nothing hanging out, just cotton pants just went whack, and I went down for the count. So that was my big break-in moment.
How did you get into professional wrestling?
Well, a friend of mine, of course, I was always a wrestling fan when I was growing up as a kid. And, my dad used to take me to wrestling matches. And where I grew up in Minnesota, it was AWA. And they had a live show on 6 o'clock Saturday nights. And so most of the time we'd have our dinner on TV trays in front of the TV set.
Awesome.
And it was growing up watching guys like the Crusher and Vern Gagne, Billy Robinson, a lot of the big names from the Midwest. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was working with my father in a roofing business, and a friend of mine was a sports writer for a company in Minneapolis, and wanted to do a story on a pro wrestling training camp, which Vern Gagne and Billy Robinson were putting on. So I said, yeah, I'd like to go along. So we went out to this old barn out in the middle of a farm area, and walked in, and there's a ring set up, and I'll never forget, there's a little light bulb hanging down, and
Oh, jeez.
these masses of humanity in the ring, and I started watching them, and I recognized a few of them: Ken Patera, Cosmo Vasari,
Okay.
Ric Flair.
Is there Chris Taylor? Was he there
Chris
at that
Taylor
time,
was
too?
my year.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Chris Taylor was my year, and they had Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzell, a number of stars of today.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Bob Bruggers. And so I was watching it, and pretty soon they asked for a volunteer to get in the ring. And being a former drill instructor, I knew what that meant. That meant I was in trouble. So
Yeah.
looking around and seeing that there wasn't any, cameras in my hand or notebooks, I guess they were pointing at me to get in the ring. So I got in the ring and let them put holes on me, and they made me scream and holler.
Ooh.
And so finally I stood back and I said, is there any way I could defend myself here? And they said, sure. So get down on all fours. And they said, Rick, you take him, Ric Flair. And I used to wrestle Ric Flair in high school. We were opposing high
Oh,
school.
okay.
So. That was music to my ears because I never lost to him.
That was
They had me
perfect
wore
pick.
out. They had me wore out pretty good. Of course, Rick was complaining that he had a bad stroller, would rather pass.
Of course.
But they had nothing to do with that. They said, get on him, get on him. So, of course, I pinned Rick.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't make them too happy, the trainers. And so they got Temperatura on me. And I got away from him. I didn't pin him, but I got away from him. He was a strong boy.
Yeah.
And then they got a little more embarrassed, so then they had Billy Robinson decide that he was going to show me how to do it. So I got down on all fours, and he tried to break my ankle for me by jumping on my back of my leg.
Oh.
So I came up and started swinging and kicking and gouging in the mud, the blood, and the beer, as they say. And they finally broke us apart, and I got a good shot on him and buckled his knees and took him down, and I cross-faced him, and they pulled me off.
Wow.
That's
so
quite
Vern Gagne-
an achievement.
Yeah.
Billy Robinson.
Yeah. I didn't know much about him. So Vern Gagne.
Well, actually, I was in Hawaii, and there was a gym, former Mr. Hawaii, and, they used to call it the Powerhouse, and that's where I used to go and work out. And matter of fact, that's where all the professional wrestlers, used to work out in that same gym. And of course, his name was Dean Noguchi, and he owns the gym, and of course he's a professional wrestler himself.
Right.
And that's how I got to get involved and having all the wrestlers there and everything. And I was pretty lucky because you had the old school, and it was easy for me to get into it. You get to know them, and they said, well, brother, because I was going to go up for, in 1970, I was going to go for the Mr. Universe representing Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't get to go. The guy said, come on, let's go and wrestle, and let's go make some serious money.
Right,
I said,
right.
okay.
You were all right with that.
I loved it, yeah.
Now, was your first real territory, was it working for Don Owen in
Don
Portland?
Owen, in Portland,
Okay.
Oregon, yes.
Yeah, so, and you made quite an impression there when you were in
Yeah, I was
Portland.
there, matter of fact, for like 8 years before I moved around to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Different states.
Yeah, yeah.
And while I was wrestling in Portland, I used to go and wrestle around all around the country too. So,
Oh, yeah. You were a big hit, Jimmy.
I was very blessed, brothers.
Right, right. And then you spent some time in the Mid-Atlantic area down there, in the Carolinas. You were
Yeah.
down there. Most people, though, probably remember you most from your WWF work. With Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and the Rogers Corner and all of that. You were huge, though, when you did your Buddy Rogers the Rogers Corner.
With Albano.
Right, with Albano.
You had your split with Albano.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was huge.
What a character. You know what I mean?
We've had Lou on our show.
Yeah, he's been on
That's
here.
awesome. He's a real awesome guy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Fantastic person.
Yep, that's true.
But when you turned, for the fans, they just went nuts for you.
The old man, came up to me one time, I'm talking about Vince McMahon Sr., and he says, brother, I think the fans love you, I think you might have to get away from these guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when Buddy Rogers came in, and that's when everything turned on me, brother. And
Great.
I loved it, and
You were on a rocket. Yeah, it went straight to the top.
brother, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic feeling.
Yeah.
That was a great ride.
And even as these years have gone by, they still probably have brought you back more than a lot of other sort of legends. I mean, to do the appearances and with the current WWE roster.
Right.
And of course, you're heading to WrestleMania next week.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to that too.
Oh, yeah.
brother. Oh yeah, that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
We can't wait to watch you put some lumps on Jericho.
Oh boy, well, the people out there, they know for sure.
Yep, it's
It's
coming.
coming, brothers. It's coming.
Jimmy, who did? Is there anybody that you like to wrestle the most? I mean, is anybody that you would rather go in and work against? I mean, any favorite
Brother, I
opponents?
was that character that just loved to wrestle against anybody.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, it's a great pleasure for me. You know,
Right.
and me being in this wrestling career all my life, and I love it, brother. And it don't matter, who I'm gonna wrestle, whatever is. Come on, brother.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I'll take them on anytime.
Take anyone.
You got
Anyone,
it.
anytime.
Anytime.
Was that time in the WWF probably your, I mean, was that sort of your favorite time for your career? I mean, when they were there in the WWF after all of that was happening and you got so popular? Was that your favorite time in wrestling probably?
Oh, yes, it was the biggest, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know that this, you know, professional wrestling will go to that limit, you know, and I mean, it's still going on. And the most important thing is that I'm really proud that I can be still involved in it, you know.
Sure.
And when I'm not there with the WWE, I'm doing a lot of, you know, promotions for independence, raising fund for children. And I mean, I love doing things like this. I still have that goosebump in me, you know.
Yeah.
That's great.
When I know I'm going somewhere, I always look forward to it. And it's a fantastic feeling.
This show tonight's really nice because a lot of your old friends are here, and probably some that you haven't seen in a while.
That's fantastic. See, it's one thing good about like these independent shows where you do raising funds and you get up to meet with all these guys that you have seen, you know, years ago, and then you see them today. I mean, it's a great blessing, you know. It's a fantastic feeling to see these guys still moving around.
That's great. That's great.
And then the fans, you had the longest line.
Let's talk about how you both got into the game anyway. Whichever one of you wants to go first. Dennis, you want to go first?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Well, how did you get into professional wrestling?
Well, you know, it was funny. I wrestled all through school, high school. And at the end of football season each year, we had to wrestle. So I had a great trainer in high school. The football coach was actually a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
So that actually helped me quite a bit right there. But anyway, I got started through Ole and Gene Anderson in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right.
They had a school at the time, and it was really, they liked to kill us. They really
I can
did.
imagine.
So what you had to do then, back in the day, if you wanted to go and try to be a professional wrestler, you had to find a school or find someone, or, you know, when it was easier to find a school. So I packed my bags, went from Alabama up to Charlotte, North Carolina, got a day job, worked out with those guys at night. So,
Oh, okay. What year would that have been? I mean,
I want to say 74,
Okay,
73,
okay.
somewhere in there.
I was living in Charlotte in the mid-'70s, and of course, watching Mid-Atlantic wrestling all the time.
Right.
I mean, Inoki and Gene they were machines at that time, weren't they?
And on top of that, they brought in the Briscoes to rough us up a little
Did
bit.
they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I
And
think
they were all
probably,
Americans at Oklahoma.
right. And
So you didn't stand a chance against those guys.
I think from what you hear, the Briscoes didn't mind roughing up rookies either, did
They
they?
didn't mind it at all. And, you know, it was a great, it really helped me in my career. I didn't realize it at the time, but those were the good old days.
Really?
I cherish those moments with those guys.
Now, there's probably a lot of people who came into those schools and had to deal with the Andersons and the Briscoes, probably who never made it, right? They probably went home and didn't come back.
You know, the thing about it is I've seen guys quit in like 30 minutes.
Really?
You know, and it was just, the thing about, they would get you real tired before they got you in the ring. You
Right.
had to do Hindu squats, like 200 or 300 Hindu squats. You had to run and hit the ropes like 4 or 5 minutes. Now they take you down and wrestle you and tie you up and all that stuff. So what actually got me into the business was they could beat me at any time. But they wanted to make you submit. They wanted to make you give up,
Right.
and I would not do it.
So they were trying to stretch it out
Yeah,
there.
they stretched
you would
me
come
out.
back.
Yeah, hoping we wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
You know, I went in at 6'2". Sometime I come out at 6'6". You know, it's one of those deals, but I never gave up, so that's how I actually.
I was in Los Angeles,
Okay.
and I was. I
So like
got-
Chavo Guerrero and people like that.
Yeah, and I had, you know, I got a bit of a reputation. I sold out the Olympic and then up to the Cow Palace and that area. And Vince McMahon Sr. Said he wanted me to come in, and so I came. And just to make the story short, try that again. Story short, dyslexic ADD at the same time. When I got to the ring there in Madison Square Garden, I used to play my bagpipes and I put them down. And Freddie Blassie and Captain Noah Byron came up to me and said hello, but said they didn't like me and they just wrestler love. But what Freddie Blassie did, he put 6 feet of toilet paper on my bagpipes and they didn't work. And so literally I came in a limousine and they came down and said, don't call us, we'll call you. And I went home in a cab. And I got real mean after that.
Piper, what a great wrap-up, huh?
Those were, all the interviews were great.
They were.
To end with the Rowdy one.
Yep.
Just It was apropos. It was perfect. Yeah. And again, thanks to everybody that's been on our show.
So many, John.
So many.
So
We
many.
mentioned in the past, you go to YouTube, and the Bruno interviews up there, the full
That's
2
right.
hours. So.
Yeah,
That's
there
right,
you go.
yeah.
Anytime you want to see that, that's there forever now.
Awesome.
And as he told us, that was the longest interview he had ever given anybody.
Yeah.
in
Every
his
time
life.
he saw me anywhere, or you ran,
Yeah.
he always said,
You
John,
put me in that seat for
you
2 hours.
2 hours you had me sitting there. That's the longest interview I've ever given.
But I got to tell you though, guys. I mean, yeah, it was long, but it didn't seem long the way Bruno can carry a conversation. We sat there just.
No, he covered his whole career,
He
his
really
life
did.
growing up, which we
Yeah.
all know the story about eating snow and
Yeah.
rheumatic
Almost
fever,
died.
almost died. The whole story with his
and
mother.
just such
and
a
then
nice, regular guy about it. He doesn't overhype it. He just tells you the way it was.
Exactly.
That was great. Yeah, so that's on YouTube. Look up Bruno
YouTube.
and Pro Wrestling
Awesome.
News and Views. Actually, that's in the Armstrong channel. You can find it on the Armstrong channel on YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Again, Super Bowl wrestling this weekend. This is our final show. We're going to wrap up with the Super Bowl wrestling show, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
And we're going to go over the matches that we know as of our taping again here. It's this Sunday, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Vince, like we said earlier, is rolling the dice again, going outside. He's going to get burnt one of these times. Hopefully it's not this year.
Well, especially this time of year on the East Coast.
Wow.
My goodness.
We just found this out before our taping that for the first time ever, the Raw Women's Championship is going to be the main event. That's awesome. I think it's great for the ladies. Women's wrestling's really going through the roof.
Come a
right
long
now.
way from Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's great. But Ronda Rousey's the champ. She's in a three-way triple threat match against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Joan Jett's going to be there live playing Ronda's entrance music. Which
Bad
song is it?
Reputation.
Bad Reputation.
Reputation, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun. And I'm glad that the girls are the main event. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Well
it's
deserved.
great. Well
It's
deserved.
time.
Universal champ Brock Lesnar. He's taking on Seth Rollins. I hope Seth wins and gets that belt off of Brock.
So do I. So do I.
Oh my, I hope so bad. Triple H, he's taking on one of his old buddies, Batista, in a no-holds-barred match. Triple H will carry him to a good match, but like you said earlier, Peach, let's hope it's not too long.
Yeah.
They're both 50.
Yeah,
What are
right.
you gonna do?
I really think 10 to 15 minutes is plenty of time to tell
Yeah.
a story.
Plenty.
Yeah.
I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Two former partners and tag team champions, Shane McMahon, he's taking on his former tag team partner, The Miz.
Yeah.
Going to be a great match.
Definitely.
Shane, like you always said, Peach, he puts on a heck of a show.
He puts it out there.
And the
every
roles
time.
are reversed this time, with Shane's the bad guy and
Yeah.
Miz is the good guy.
How about that?
That's great.
I love it. I love it. We have AJ Styles. He's taking on Randy Orton. AJ will get a good match out of Orton.
He will.
On the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, he will.
Definitely. We have the U.S. champion, Samoa Joe. He's taking on Rey Mysterio. It's going to be a great match. Samoa Joe, he's a throwback.
Yeah.
Oh, just rough and
Well,
tumble.
Mysterio will keep him busy in the ring, that's for sure.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is the match we hope they change by the time you see our show. And if not, hopefully by the time WrestleMania comes around on Sunday. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's farewell match. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
put
don't
him in
get
there
it.
with the Taker, like we said earlier, or
Yeah.
Cena, someone that's notable, because they've done this match on TV how many times?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just that's
Let's move it up, step it up a
yeah.
little bit.
Kurt Angle deserves better.
I think so.
Definitely.
Yep.
We have the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Buddy Murphy. He's taking on Tony Nese. These guys can go. It's going to be a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka, she's a SmackDown Women's Champion. No opponent yet.
No.
By the time you watch the show, they might have announced one for her.
Most
You know she's
Carmella.
going to be on
Maybe
there.
Carmella.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
That'd
Okay.
be a good one.
There you go.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley, he's the current IC champ. He's taking on Finn Balor. These guys have great matches. The belt's gone back and forth between them.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match. Roman Reigns, he's taking on Drew McIntyre. Going to be a great match.
Mm-hmm.
They've been putting it over on TV.
Yep.
We have the André the Giant Battle Royal. 20 guys ran.
20 guys.
It'll be
Wow.
good. Yeah, we know only have a couple.
Strowman
right now.
and the guys from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Okay.
Right. Daniel Bryan, he has a SmackDown title. He doesn't have an opponent announced as of our show taping, but who do you think that'll be?
Kofi.
Kofi?
Yeah.
That should be. Yeah, the Usos, tag champs, they have to have an opponent. You know, they're going to be on there.
The Revival's the other.
Oh,
we
yeah.
forgot that.
Yeah.
For the Raw
tag
titles.
champs.
Oh, all right.
So they're going to be in a match.
Yeah.
Another ladies match. It's a 4-way tag team match. Beth Phoenix and Natty, the Iconics, Nia Jax and Tamina. Those 3 teams are taking on the champs, Sasha Banks and Bayley. That'll be a great match too.
Oh, tons of action.
Tons of action.
That's for sure.
Question mark on Cena. Question mark on Taker. I think they'll both be in there.
Yeah,
So,
I think somehow, yeah.
right. So
Dial it up.
dial it
that-
up on your Armstrong in Demand pay-per-view.
Absolutely going to be, what, 5-6 hour show, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get a cushion.
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Your butt's going to be hurting
Yeah.
sitting there that long. All right. Hey, this is our final show, in case you didn't see earlier in the show. 18-year career here at Pro Wrestling News and Views is coming to an end. And we have a lot of thank yous here to end the show. I mean, we don't even have enough time for them, but we're going to buzz through them. First thing we got to do is thank Randy Fox. It's the original Randy that sat in his seat. He's had some health trouble the last few years. Randy, hope things are going well.
And, you know, speaking of Randy, it was actually his idea.
Yeah, it was his idea.
To pitch the show, and all of a sudden we were doing a show. Yeah, we were kind of
That's
stunned,
great.
actually.
Oh, man, we were stunned.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure, Rand.
Thanks, Rand.
Yep.
So best of luck to you, and nothing but the best. It's great. Armstrong, we got to thank Armstrong for putting us on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who else would
And
have
putting
taken
up
the
with us.
chance? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Gosh. We have to thank our fans. You guys are the best. No matter where we traveled, anywhere we went, in-state, out-of-state, airplane, Super Bowl, you were there.
Super Bowl, that's true. That's true.
It is
yeah.
a true story. But you guys are great. Thank you so much for supporting us, watching all the time. You know, it's just awesome. And
Keep wearing those T-shirts if you have one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
talking about our number 1 fan.
Yeah.
Talking about fans, Tommy Beachy. He just passed away. I think he had more shirts than anybody, didn't he, Pete?
I think he had one for every day of the week.
Every day of the
I'm
week.
pretty sure.
He answered so many trivia questions correctly. I mean,
There wasn't much he didn't know.
That's true.
Yeah. Tom
Yeah.
was something else.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Our families for putting up with all this nonsense
sure.
of this crazy pro wrestling business that we love so
That's
We
much.
didn't travel as much as the wrestlers, but we put some miles on.
We put
for
some
you.
miles on,
Yeah.
yep. And the wrestlers listed earlier in the show, thank them for sitting down. You know, none of them ever got a dime.
Right.
You know, they sat down and gave us their time. And some of you we've forgotten independently, probably some men and ladies, and some midget wrestlers we forgot to
Sure.
list.
There were
But
just way too
Some
many.
of the
Over
local guys
18
we've had
years.
on a lot.
Yeah.
Benchmark.
Oh my. Norm Connors, he helped us out a lot. He used to run IWC. Buzzy, who is Tom. What's Tom?
Buzanowski.
Buzanowski.
Yeah.
I forgot your last name, Buzz.
Yeah.
I'm
I know
sorry.
you.
Jeez. But he was like our first guest, I think.
I think
wasn't
he was, yeah. And he was
Yeah.
Doink, and he was the American Patriot, and he was Swamp Man Reynolds, and he was
Swamp Man
even
Reynolds.
Batman for a
Batman,
while.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have to thank them. We've got to thank Lord Zoltan.
Kenny Jugan.
Kenny Jugan.
Yeah.
We've got to thank Milwaukee Mauler. You know, it's just a lot of
Oh,
these.
yeah. A lot of the local guys. Tarantula.
It's
The
your
guy that made our belt.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Drew Lazario, Wildcat Belts. If you need a belt, not just for wrestling, but anything like a birthday or a wedding or a corporate event,
Yeah.
Drew will make it for you. He's making all WWE's belts right now. He
Making all
gave this
kind of
to us
belts,
for a
yeah.
gift a couple years
Yeah.
ago. But thank you, Drew.
And we definitely want to mention Michael Sorg at Sorgatron Media Services.
Definitely.
Excellent work, Michael. He lent us clips for a number of years to run some of the matches that they did, and
Great
just superb work. And we appreciate you, Mike, a whole lot. And we were glad to be on your podcast. We really enjoyed that.
I'm glad we finally made it.
Yeah, me too.
Our first producer of the show, Jim Cook. Thank you, Jim. Other cameramen, Matt Lutz, Carmen Bianco. Thank you both. We couldn't have done it without you guys. You know, it's just there's just so many, and we can't even think of them all. You
No,
know,
it's tough. It's
yeah,
tough.
it's just
Who would have
tough.
thought a wrestling show would have lasted this long?
Yeah, exactly.
Professional wrestling.
Right.
Imagine that, huh?
Yeah, 18 years. I mean, good
Imagine.
gosh. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, John, we have run out of time. An
Out
hour
of
has
time.
passed, and this is it. This is
This
the
is
end.
it. This
Yeah.
is the final show of
It
our
really
18-year
is. It
career.
really is. So
wow.
you want to take us out one more time, John?
Okay, for PG Pat Gallagher, for Randy, Macho Man Bodell, Jumpin' Johnny, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being with us the last 18 years. And keep watching wrestling. This show won't be on to watch, but keep watching wrestling. We thank you so much.